Today I'm going to be showing you how to paint these amazing Picasso portraits. I'm so excited. I love Picasso. I've listed all the materials you will need for this project with links in the description below. I'm going to be showing you how to create a square-shaped, cropped version of the original painting you see on the left. I've included a complete written list of steps at the end of this video. Start by cutting your paper into a square. I made a super short, awesome tutorial about how to do this. You can find a video link to this tutorial in the description below. Now use your pencil and ruler to draw a simple grid with 4 quadrants on your paper. Each of the 4 quadrants should be the same size. If you want instructions for drawing a grid on your paper, you can find a video link to my super easy tutorial about this in the description below. Here is a simple drawing I made of this painting, and I've added a grid to it. I recommend pausing your video and taking a screenshot so you can look at this image while you draw. I'm going to be using this small print of Picasso's painting to guide my drawing, so I'm drawing a grid right on top of it. I recommend focusing on drawing 1 quadrant of your picture at a time. So to make things easier, take 2 pieces of plain scratch paper and use these pieces of paper to cover up everything but the quadrant you are currently drawing. Now I'm trying to draw exactly what I see in this upper left quadrant. While you are doing this, you'll probably find it easier to look at the black and white image I shared with you. Start by drawing the long, straight nose that comes down the middle of this square. Then add the lips, which are in the shape of a small triangle. Now add the hat and eyes. Notice how you're only drawing half of the right eye right now. Ta-da! Now I'm going to repeat the same step for the upper right quadrant. The left half of this eye was drawn while I was drawing the left quadrant, so now as I draw the right side of this eye, I'm going to use extra care to make sure the lines of this eye match up with each other. If you don't pay careful attention while you're doing this, your drawing might end up looking like this. And now I'm going to draw the lower right quadrant. Start by drawing the 2 curved lines for the wrist and then draw an oval-shaped outline where you will draw the hand. Once you have those basic shapes, you can fill in the details for the fingers. Now add in all the other shapes and lines that you see in this picture. This is an abstract painting, so if you don't get it right, it's really not a big deal. It's all about the experience and just having fun. Now I'm ready to draw the lower left quadrant. I recommend drawing the chin and the slanting collar first, and then fill in all the other details. Once you're done drawing all 4 quadrants, go back and touch up your picture and make sure all the lines in your drawing connect properly and look the way you want them to. I thought it would be cool to pause here for just a second and share a bit about my own experience with the art of Pablo Picasso. Picasso has had a really big influence on my work over the years. Here are a few of my paintings. You can see how his style has influenced mine. And we're back. If you want to learn more about my own artwork, you can check out the About page on my website, rainbowparrotart.com. Now I'm outlining my drawing with an ultrafine Sharpie, mostly so you can just see it better. Once you're all done with your drawing, go back and erase the pencil marks that you drew for your grid. But be careful not to erase your drawing. Okay, you ready to add some color? I'm going to be using acrylic paint to paint my drawing, but you could just as easily use markers, colored pencils, or crayons. Before I start painting, I want to mention that I have a ton of super fun art tutorials on this channel, such as dragonfly paintings, treehouse drawings, illuminated manuscripts, on-my-tape bark paintings, and much more. So I hope you'll subscribe to my channel and stick around and check out my other videos. It's fun to try to match the colors Picasso used in his painting, but you can also be creative and choose your own colors. If you're using paint, here's how I recommend doing it. Paint the background first and use a really super light color so your colorful portrait will easily pop out from the background. I'm using one solid, very light gray color to paint the background, and I'm applying the paint with a 1-inch flat brush. I recommend using a smaller size 8 round brush to fill in around the details of your portrait. For the face and neck, I'm using a teal color, and then while the paint is still wet, I'm going back and blending some white on top. I'm going to use the same color for the fingers. I'm adding a darker blue on the wrist, hand, and the back of the neck. See how I'm taking extra care to blend the turquoise with the blue right here where the two colors meet? See if you can paint this so that one color gradually fades into the other. I love this green hair! Now I'm taking the tiniest brush I have and I'm adding some thin dark gray lines on top of the hair to match the painting. To save myself time when I paint, I try to notice if there's a color that I'm going to use in more than one spot. For example, I'm going to use the same light bluish gray color on the chest and on the right side of the hat. So I'm painting both of these spots at the same time. I've also noticed the same yellow color in several places in this Picasso painting. So again, I'm painting all of these places that are yellow at the same time. Now see if you can pick out all the parts of this painting that are either black or dark gray. You may also want to paint all of these black or dark gray areas all at once at the same time. I love this hat. Notice how I'm just painting it a solid orange, and then I'm going to go back later and add the black stripes. I'm totally digging this orangish red bow on the hat. So cool. Okay, I'm not even sure what this thing is on the shoulder. That's what I love about abstract art. But I'm going to go ahead and just paint it a solid red for now, and then I'll go back and add details to it later. Here I'm throwing down some light purple and mauve on the sleeve and shoulder. Notice all of the parts of this painting that have stripes. I recommend painting the stripes at the very end after you've finished adding all the solid colors to the painting. I'm painting one of the irises purple and the other one light blue. Now I'm painting the eyebrows and adding some black around the eyes. I'm painting a white checkerboard on top of this red area, and I'm using a teeny tiny paintbrush for this. I'm going to go back at the very end and add some black to it. Adding some black to the pupils. I love the way the eyes turned out. And now for some dark purple stripes on the sleeve. Okay, are you ready for this super duper awesome tip? When you're all done painting, and once your painting is totally, completely 100% dry, go back and outline all the different facets of your painting with a Sharpie. It will make your painting pop and look really awesome. Plus, adding black outlines with a Sharpie is way faster and easier than adding black outlines with a paintbrush. So here's the original, and here's my painting. I want to know how yours turns out. If you enjoyed watching this video, let me know. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Here's a step-by-step breakdown of all the steps I've just walked you through. Be sure to stick around and check out one of these super awesome videos next. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support.